Tashdile and welcome to Tibet this week. This is Sakina Bhatt with another edition of Weekly News on Tibet, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Central Tibetan Administration. Let's look at the headlines first. His Holiness the Dalai Lama contributes in efforts to contain coronavirus. China reportedly arrests 10 Tibetans on charges of spreading rumors about the coronavirus. Central Tibetan Administration's Wuhan COVID-19 Taskforce appeals to comply with the state authorities' instructions. US House members introduced resolution blaming China for the coronavirus. On Thursday this week, His Holiness the Dalai Lama wrote to the Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh, Sri Jairam Thakur, expressing his support towards the state government's efforts to control the growing threat of coronavirus, which has spread across the world and has broken out in the state recently. His Holiness the Dalai Lama is donating to the Chief Minister's Fund in order to contribute to providing essential supplies like food and medicine for the poor and needy members of the community. In his letter, His Holiness mentioned an affinity he feels for the people of Himachal Pradesh, as the place has been his home for almost 60 years, and expressed confidence that the steps being taken by the central government under the Honorable Prime Minister's firm leadership will be effective in containing the spread of the virus. In an effort to contain the spread of coronavirus, the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced a 21-day nationwide lockdown with effect from midnight of 24th March. China has reportedly arrested 10 Tibetans from Lhasa on charges of spreading rumors about the coronavirus, as the news of the virus hitting the Tibetan plateau surfaced ahead of Tibetan New Year. However, neither details on the arrest nor further information on the COVID-19 cases in Tibet is available due to heavy security and severe restrictions imposed by the Chinese government. Condoling the demise of the first exiled Tibetan infected by Wuhan origin COVID-19 in Dharamshala on Wednesday this week, the President of Central Tibetan Administration, Dr. Lobsang Singye, appealed to the public to comply with law enforcement. Till date, 3 exiled Tibetans in Paris, London and in Dharamshala have been reportedly infected with the coronavirus. 2 of them passed away. The family and people whom the deceased had come into contact with were notified and instructed to self-quarantine. Central Tibetan Administration has established a task force to deal with this pandemic, consisting of health color, veteran doctors and former personal physicians of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. The members of the task force briefed the press this Friday on their workings and appealed to the Tibetans to strictly comply with the instructions of the concerned state authorities and encouraged anyone in need of assistance to contact their respective settlement officers. On Tuesday this week, members of the United States Congress introduced a resolution that would condemn China for its handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. The legislation, initially spearheaded by Representative Jim Banks and Seth Moulton, accuses the Chinese government of having made multiple serious mistakes, including the deliberate perpetuation of misinformation to downplay virus risk and the censorship of the doctors and journalists in the developing stages of the outbreak. In accordance with the guidelines issued by the central and state governments, the Central Tibetan Administration encouraged remote working for its staff. In order to facilitate communication, concerns and queries, a complete contact directory of the offices of the Central Tibetan Administration are provided on our website www.tibet.net. So much for today. See you next time and have a great weekend.